Hey guys, welcome to our channel, Friends of Books. It's me again, Anvi, and today I'm doing the book called Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling. This book was published in July 2000, and it has 37 chapters and 734 pages, which is right here. And this book is also, it has a brief introduction about the author, and then the last page is basically about, it just tells you to read all the books in the series. And so this book is I really like the cover art a lot because the picture is really cool. And then so the reason I decided to read this book is because it's really, it looks like a challenging read because of its thickness, and my friends recommended it. They said it was a really good book, and yeah. And then also, another thing I would like to say about this book is that its level is pretty hard, and it's much different than the last three books of the series, and so it also takes a big turn in the whole series. It's like the climax of the series, and then everything just takes a huge turn when it gets to this book. So yeah, and then so basically what happens in this book is, in the beginning, Harry has this dream about like when here, I'll show you. So the first chapter is the Riddle House, in which Harry gets this dream, and you don't know it yet in the first chapter. So in that, he finds out that Voldemort's still alive, but he doesn't know if this dream will come true or not. And he's plotting to do something really bad. And then also later on in the book, there's a Quidditch World Cup, which is so they go to the Weasleys, which is basically it's in the Burrow. The Burrow is the place where Harry's friend Ron's family lives, and Ron is his best friend, and Hermione's there too. Hermione's his other best friend, and then they all go to the Quidditch World Cup together during the summer. And so Quidditch is basically this game in which you use broomsticks, and it's sort of like a soccer with broomsticks, and there's 3 goalposts. And then there's 7 players on each team. And yeah, so I won't get into too many rules about Quidditch yet, but so they go to the match, and there they meet a house elf named Winky. So house elves are basically like these tiny creatures who do housework. And so they make friends with Winky, and then later on, they after they watch the Quidditch match, they sleep in their tents when suddenly there's this dark mark in the sky that appears. So the dark mark is basically like this mark in the sky that's like a skull with a snake coming out of its mouth. So it's like the sign that Voldemort supporters are coming. And it's really creepy, and then everyone gets freaked out, and they start running around everywhere. And then Hermione, Ron, and Harry are accused of conjuring the dark mark by the Ministry of Magic, even though they didn't do it. And that's why it's sort of weird. But then they get freed because there was proof against them. And they found out that Winky was holding Harry's wand, and she was found unconscious in the grass, in the bushes somewhere. So they thought that Winky did it, but Winky says she didn't. So nobody knows yet, but you'll find out later in the book, but I won't spoil it for you guys. And then after the Quidditch World Cup, when they finally get to Hogwarts, there's a tournament. This is like my favorite part of the book. So it's called the Triwizard Tournament. Dumbledore announces it, and it's so cool. So basically what happens in the tournament is that there's 3 schools that, there's one champion from each school that attends the tournament. and they have to pass 3 tasks, and whoever does the best in each task gets to win 1,000 galleons of prize money, and also their school gets an award. And so this happened after a really long time because of the many death tolls that happened before, so now they fixed it, or at least they think they did. And then after that, they start the tournament again. But the thing is, the Goblet of Fire, which is the thing that chooses the tournament champions. So someone put Harry's name in it, and now there's 4 champions instead of 3. And so the champions are Cedric Diggory, Fleur Delacour, Victor Crumb, and Harry Potter. Dun dun dun. Okay, and then I'm gonna read a page from this book to tell you what the level is, and it's gonna be about Dumbledore introducing the school to the Triwizard Tournament. Okay, here you go. So if you can look at, I'm gonna be reading the bottom of this page and some of this top page over here. So yeah. Okay. Yes, the Triwizard Tournament. Well, some of you will not know what this tournament involves, so I hope those who do know will forgive me for giving a short explanation and allow their attention to wander freely. The Triwizard Tournament was first established some 700 years ago as a friendly competition between the 3 largest European schools of wizardry, Hogwarts, Bjoxbettens, and Durmstrang. A champion was selected to represent each school, and the 3 champions competed in 3 magical tasks. The schools took it in turns to host the tournament once every 5 years, and it was generally agreed to be a most excellent way of establishing ties between young witches and wizards of different nationalities, until, that is, the death toll mounted so high that the tournament was discontinued. Death toll? Hermione whispered, looking alarmed, but her anxiety did not seem to be shared by the majority of students in the hall. Many of them were whispering excitedly to one another, and Harry himself was far more interested in hearing about the tournament than in worrying about deaths that had happened hundreds of years ago. There have been 7 attempts over the centuries to reinstate the tournament, Dumbledore continued, none of which has been very successful. However, our own Department of International Magical Cooperation and Magical Games and Sports have decided that time is ripe for another attempt. We have worked hard over the summer to ensure that this time no champion will find himself or herself in mortal danger. So, yeah, I'm going to read that much. And then also another thing that's very important to mention is that nobody who's under 17 or 18 will be able to survive the Triwizard Tournament, is what Dumbledore says. And it might not be, so that's why they're not allowed to go in it. But since Harry's only 14 and the name comes in the Triwizard tournament's names, he has to do it, and he's like the youngest player in the group. So yeah, and then also this book has lots more in the middle and the end, but I really do not want to give it away. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. So their new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher is Professor Moody, who's like Mad Eye Moody. So he has this eye that whirls around, and it's like it can look through invisibility cloaks, doors, desks, and it can even look through the back of his head. So it's magical. And then his other eye is normal. His nose is cut, and he's like really weird looking professor who has a wooden leg, but he's still pretty nice, and he teaches them about unforgivable curses and stuff. And then in the end, you'll find out something about him that's really, really creepy. Okay, so yeah, so I'm not giving everything away about this book, but it's gonna be amazing. Just wait and see. So yeah, and my next videos are gonna be about some books, like maybe I might do some different genres and different series and maybe different types of books. Probably like I'll go away from the Harry Potter series for a while, and so that it's better. And then don't forget to, if you like my last video, don't forget to comment about it. And if you like this video, don't forget to like this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. See you soon. Bye.